So we're up to issue 9 of Danger Street. I know that my Danger Street discussions don't get a lot of views, very few, but I'm liking the series. I really enjoy it. I've loved every one of the Tom King Maxi series. I haven't loved everything he's done, but I have enjoyed all the Maxi series. This issue, I've only talked about a few of the issues. This issue is a bit of an aberration and not for the good reasons. And that kind of the thing is I have a lot to talk about with this issue and not for good reasons. Um, on Comic Book Roundup, it is the lowest rated of the series, 8.0, which is not a bad score. It's only on 4 reviews, but it did follow two 9.1s. If I go in here, oops, that's not what I want. Um, the user rating, 8.4, so it's a little bit higher. Not in love with this cover. It's Walt Simonson, who was a legendary artist, but kind of inappropriate given the content, which I'll get to. So each one of the issues has focused on all the different characters from first issue special, which was a series from the 1970s, except this one, which is just um, Manhunter facing off against Codename Assassin. And I'm going to remind people, as I always say, I do not avoid spoilers, so be warned. So the two of them are going to face off in a sword battle. And both of them are very similar. They're both assassins. In the case of Manhunter, he's been tasked with wiping out the green team. He has the Commodore left. And Assassin has been paid, as he says, $1 billion to protect um, the Commodore. So the thing about this one, and I think the biggest um, uh, skill of Tom King as a writer is characterization and dialogue. And the reason I don't like this one, I don't dislike it, but there's a lot of dialogue, and these two stoic assassins do a lot of talking, and they talk and they talk and they talk, and it can work. Lots of dialogue can work, but I just don't think it works in this case, and I think there's a few reasons. One of them is their dialogue is quite strange. Like Assassin is sitting there and they're arguing about, well, Assassin makes the argument that he can win in 2 out of 3 possibilities, which is that Manhunter is killed or both are killed. In both cases, he is the winner because the Commodore will survive. Um, it's just kind of all right, whatever, who cares? And so you could see there's a lot of text, a lot of dialogue. Manhunter eventually calls a parley, and so they just kind of chill out, and well, I guess not yet. They're still fighting and talking. Um, and some of the stuff, like I didn't want to hear that much dialogue from these two characters because they kind of had a mystery, a gravitas, and it's kind of uh, taken away by the fact that they're two chatterboxes. So Manhunter, and they're talking about their history, how they got started as assassins. Okay, and so finally, yeah, so he takes Manhunter takes a drink, and then Assassin takes a drink from his flask, and then Manhunter makes a proposal, which is that, and this just seems complete. I mean, I don't know Manhunter character that well, but from what I've seen in this series, it seems completely out of character. Which is, let's just flip a coin. Whoever loses commits suicide, jumps off the building. Okay, it seems kind of cowardly to do that, and weird. And then Assassin replies back that would be silly of him because he wins in 2/3 of the situations, whereas a toss of the coin is a 50-50. And then he reveals Assassin, and this is from the first issue special, which is that he has telekinesis powers. Apparently, these are not superpowers. It's just something that he trained himself to do. So he has telekinesis, and he is capable of lifting Manhunter off the ground, putting him over off the side of the building, and telling him, I could just kill you at any moment. Just close my fist and you die. And he closes his fist. And so Manhunter drops. Now, there are a few points in this comic that I did like. Um, there's nothing I hated. I just got kind of bored. And I did read through it twice. This is one of the parts I do like. So as Manhunter is falling to his death, he gets a call. Assassin gets a call from Commodore, and Commodore is just a jerk. He's just an idiot. He's smug and arrogant, and he kind of pisses Assassin off. And Assassin's just like, "Out of hell with it." And so he brings him back up and decides to actually have a fight. And he flips a coin, and I'm not even sure who won. I think he never reveals. So he says, "How'd I do? Who cares?" And so they go to fight. So they finally going to actually face off and have a battle. I did like this part. The Commodore is a great villain. He's such a jerk. And even though Assassin is hired to protect him, I don't think Assassin likes him. So this is the other part I like. And again, I'm not avoiding spoilers, so get ready. They're ready to face off. Manhunter just flings his sword right at Assassin and hits him in the side. And he's like, "Well, what did you expect? Was that cheating? I just..." So, they're talking like they're very refined, and that's the other problem. Both of them sound exactly the same. It sounds like the same person talking to himself. And the thing with Tom King, he's very good at characterization, and I think he kind of failed in this point because they both seem like they're the same. Maybe that's what he was attempting to do. So Assassin's in bad shape from that one blow, and he's dying. He's bleeding out. He can't even talk at this point. Now, I'd always figured that Manhunter was, I guess, a hero, and Assassin's bad because the green team is definitely bad, and Assassin's trying to protect them. Manhunter's trying to kill them. And the Manhunters were treated as heroes in other stories, but so was Assassin. And I don't know if he ever was in more than one. So Manhunter's just kind of, chatting with him and saying, "Well, too bad for you." And Assassin manages to pull the blade out, knock the blade out of Manhunter's hand, and then Manhunter goes to retrieve his blade and gets his leg chopped off. Now, it's not unbelievable that the sword would chop his leg off because it is maybe you call it a magical sword, but it's basically a diamond sword created from Metamorpho's severed arm and then transformed by Assassin into a sword. And so now they're both bleeding out, although Manhunter's, he's not happy. So they're both in pretty bad shape at this point. And Manhunter tries to lunge at him, gets stabbed in the gut, and they both fall to the ground bleeding all over the place, and it turns black. And so then I don't know if they're dead or not. I don't think it really reveals whether they're dead. He says, Manhunter says that suggests some form of temporal corporeal recovery rather than slippage into a more ethereal realm. So I don't know where they're at. It doesn't really explain. And then Assassin says, "Well, I won because you're dead," which was one of the three possibilities. And so Manhunter reveals that let me see. Next page. He reveals that he told people, some very competent people, that if he dies, they are to kill the Commodore. And I believe he's referring to the Outsiders, the group of, quote, freaks. And so Assassin makes the counter argument. He says, well, since we're here and I wouldn't even know if the Commodore dies or not, I win. Because as far as I know, I did exactly what I set out to do. And they chat a little bit more, and then it just ends. The end. So I don't know if we're going to see these characters again. It also, with this comic, also features a short thing on Wonder Woman, also by Tom King. Yeah, a little bit too much talking. Um, it's like a film with all of the deleted scenes kept in. I think it could have been a lot better if it were cut significantly and some of the sillier dialogue, such as the whole. I thought the flipping of the coin was silly. I thought the whole I win in 2 out of 3 scenarios was kind of silly. That's just my opinion. These are not bad scores, but like I said, this is the lowest. Although the user rating's pretty good, 8.4 on 10 reviews, 10 users. That's not a lot of scores, so I think this comic is maybe, this series is not selling highly, but I'm enjoying it. I love it. Um, Even this issue, I didn't hate it at all. I just didn't love it like I did the other ones. So anyway, that's Danger Street, number 9 by Tom King.